10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Am I the only one that sees these things? So during the Indian space launch, the moon mission, so to say, and remember, any moon mission, there's always going to be a trinity. So we have this space mission with the number 3 encoded in it in its name. But if you look at the launch or the pillar or the facility that they launched off of, you see a play on the Shiva's arms. And Shiva, we know, is associated with the portal opening. This is the year of the rabbit, the vortex, the portal, the rabbit hole kind of concept has been played a lot in a lot of different stories and a lot of things going on this year. So we see that, we just had the Ocean's Gate thing that recently occurred. And if you know anything about James Cameron's work, he always encodes the ocean and space as being the same or vice versa in a lot of his different stories. This is why the Space Marines, the Navy, is in space because it's a play on water. And you see that a lot of the planets that he has in his films are a play on the ocean because it's both the same thing. So when we have this Ocean's Gate thing, you should also be thinking about the sky being encoded. And the sky or space is maybe water, but it's also encoded for spirituality. So I don't want you to think that aliens or anything that's about to come through a portal, but more so that these are encoding deeper things or energy shifts on the planet, so to say. So we have this 40-day mission, play on the 40 days, 40 nights in the Bible, going on with this Indian moon mission. So it'll be interesting to see. But it just had me thinking about Shiva, especially seeing this, knowing that this is the year of the rabbit, and all the different little characters that I see in different shows representing Shiva and being a play kind of on the rabbit. You see Doctor Strange, he's a rabbit character. His name is Stephen Strange, which whenever you have a character with the same first and last initials, it's a play on the kind of rabbit concept. So Stephen Strange, the Sorcerer Supreme, 2 S's. Same thing with like Peter Parker. And if you notice, the Tom Holland version of the Peter Parker's Spider-Man story is the character who goes through the portals. And this is when he gets the Iron Spider or the Shiva arms, so to say, on him. And you see Shiva in Mortal Kombat 3, and that's the game where the portals encoded all throughout the game. You see portals in the background of a lot of different stages. That's when the portals open for the whole outworld to come into our world. And that's what that game is kind of encoding. And you see another interesting Marvel opening rabbit or portal opening rabbit is Robbie Reyes, I think the second or third Ghost Rider. And you see his outfit. He looks just like a normal Ghost Rider, but his name has a double R in it. He's encoding Robbie Reyes, the portal jumper. And the same actor is in other movies where he's playing a portal jumper. In the Terminator series, he's the portal jumping Terminator. But in the Ghost Rider character that he plays, he can open portals similar to Doctor Strange's portals, and his outfit has the upside down rabbit ear symbol on it, letting you know it's like the bad rabbit, but being portrayed in a good aspect. We have another character named Spiral from the X-Men series. She's a character who has multiple arms. It's a play on Shiva. She's from another dimension that watches other dimensions. It's kind of like a portal opener. And you see that this character's name is Spiral, which is a play on the rabbit hole, the swirl, the spiral. And this is why, as you'll see in an upcoming video I have, a lot of rabbit hole stories will include the interracial dating thing because it's further reinforcing the spiral kind of concept or the rabbit hole, the blending of light and dark by going through the rabbit hole. And you see that her helmet or her hat piece has horns on it. And a lot of times in a lot of different stories, rabbit characters will go back between horns or bunny ears. And you see this kind of concept or look in her, similar to like Magic from X-Men as well. Even Bumblebee, his original design had horns. In the recent series, he has bunny ears. But it's a play on the concept of a bunny, just telling a different element or a different position of that kind of story when a character has horns versus the bunny ears. And this is why the character who plays Harry Potter is in a film called Horns. Not by coincidence, because they're playing on that concept when they do films like that or use that kind of actor. Another rabbit character is General Grievous in the Star Wars series and the prequels. they introduced this character named General Grievous. He has 4 arms. It's almost like they had to introduce him for it in order for the portal jumping or the time skip kind of to be shown. But across from him is Princess Amidala or Padme, and Padme is a Omni-Man. Padme is an associated name with Shiva, and so you see a lot of Padme's outfit is also inspired by Shiva, and then even the name Amidala or Amidala, I forget how it's pronounced, but you see the name Amida in Buddhism associated with like the Shiva concept or the multiple palms. General Grievous's vehicle that he rides to reinforce it is kind of pretty much like a portal. He's riding in like a mobile portal with the 4 pillars. And if you look at the space launch, this launching of the shuttle, what does it look like? It looks like Shiva's arms with 4 pillars surrounding. Focus a lot on Spider-Man characters because he's one of the biggest American or Western superhero characters, and his story encodes way more than just meets the eye. But in his villain catalog, all of the villains, if you notice, the original Spider-Man's villains are all turtle designs because it's a play on the rabbit versus the turtle. But Dr. Octopus is also happens to encode a rabbit character as well, and his name being Otto Octavius, 2 O's. And then he has the goggles on that you see in a lot of rabbit hole characters. Think about like Doc Brown from Back to the Future, Tales from Sonic, Riddick from the Chronicles of Riddick. So whenever you see those kind of goggles, that's an indicator that somebody will be traveling through the rabbit hole. And if you pay attention to the Spider-Man film, Spider-Man 2, where he fell into the palm of the sun, and his play on the zodiac position, or that these characters are playing in the sky, but he goes into the sun, you see he's actually like going through a portal, and then he wakes up in the No Way Home film. And then we have this event now going on in, I believe it's Australia, where this mysterious object has come across the shore. And just looking at it immediately, it looks like the dumpster that I saw on Power Rangers. And Power Rangers is a story about a Mercury rabbit in the form of Rita Repulsa. Remember, double initials, Rita Repulsa, 2 R's. She's a rabbit. Look at her hairstyle. And I always notice a parallel between space launches or the events of space, the big space launches, and things that are going on down here. So, to give you an example of this, if you pay attention to when we had the synchronized riding all over the world in 2020, if you pay attention to the space launch activity that was going on during that time, who was there and where they should have been when the riots were starting all over the world. It kind of just shows you that maybe that's like a lighting of the torch kind of activity for events that happen here with these space launches, since we know it's not really going to where they say it's going. So to bring this video to a close, whenever you're watching a story or reading a story, watching a film, if you see a character with 4 arms or multiple arms, it might be encoding Shiva, especially if it's a rabbit hole character or a portal jumping character, time travel character. And we see this in the examples that were demonstrated here, but we also see this encoded in a lot of the name or title of events that occur in our real world, with these things not being physical manifestations, but spiritual manifestations, almost like summoning energy to do things in our real world. And we know we're midway through the year of the rabbit. The rabbit is a good position and a bad position, so you have the good and the bad rabbit. And so far, the beginning of the year has been okay, so I expect some turbulence in the rest of the year. And we see 2 big events recently that kind of are encoding the opening of the gates, where you have the Ocean Gate and the Titanic, and now we have this Shiva's gate being opened with this space launch. And with James Cameron's connection and all of it, a lot of his films encode space as being water, or water as being space, both play on the same thing. And we see a lot of renditions of Shiva being the inspiration for the Avatar movie films with James Cameron. And this is why probably James Cameron is so active this year. This is probably why he's the Avatar movie came out on Disney Plus around this time. And just consider a lot of films involving Avatar, even the Nickelodeon cartoon, are a play on air to water or water to the air.
5 seconds.
Liftoff normal.
Here
tracking.
we have a majestic liftoff of
Auto tracking.
LBM-3 M4 rocket carrying India's prestigious Chandrayaan-3 spacecraft.